for over President Tinubu's academic record at the Chicago State University is still in top gear. The president has asked the Supreme Court now to dismiss the appeal by the candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2023 election, Atiku Abubakar, to nullify his electoral victory. In a 42-page brief of argument, he filed through his team of 17 lawyers comprising 10 senior advocates of Nigeria. President Tinubu urged the Apex Court to affirm the decision of the Court of Appeal, which dismissed the petition of Atiku against him. The president maintained that Atiku's petition is mere blockbuster with thrilling suspense, hide and seek. What a way to put it. I'm wondering who wrote that, but the interesting thing here is that we are going to have to wait to see whether or not the Supreme Court will be admitting this fresh evidence. I know there are conditions with which the Apex Court can make that decision. It's like this is not over yet, BQ.
Yes, many things will be decided. From what we saw at the appeal court, otherwise known as Presidential Election Petitions Court. I've always known it to be appeal court. These people didn't do a solid work. If you are making the point that election was rigged in a place, you must bring someone who was physically present. You can't even bring a collation agent, the person physically present at that polling center. For most of the witnesses that they brought, a good number of them dismissed because they didn't do what they ought to do. When you are bringing someone who did not participate in the election, who was not present, it becomes hearsay. That's what the court said. It is hearsay. This was what we saw. And to prove that you were the winner of the election, you needed to show a lot more hard work. They were focused too much on drama. You brought journalists who attended the press conference. You said they should play video of the press conference where somebody made a promise. How is that related to you winning the election? How is that related to your performance on election day? That was a promise made before the election. You can't use that to argue that you won an election. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but this is commonsensical. You can't bring a video evidence that somebody made a promise that they will post on IREV to argue that you are the one who won. It shows the level of seriousness. And as far as Tinubu's lawyers are concerned, this is a pure abuse of court process. Atiku even trying to bring in fresh evidence is unparalleled when it comes to electoral matters. I've said it, I will see people who say, I'm a lawyer, this and that. They don't even want us to talk about points of law. And I always say, look, the law is written in English language, a language that we understand, by the grace of God. When it comes to electoral matters, you cannot compare electoral matters to civil matters. The electoral law does not envisage bringing fresh evidence before the Supreme Court. Evidence that you did not plead at the lower court. So this is a matter, it's just like we're telling them that, oh, you said that the candidate of APC was not the rightful winner of the primaries in their state, and you are from the PDP. It's a very predictable court matter because the court will rule that you are an interloper. Medusa. You are not in their party. Yes. Only somebody who contested the primaries has the locus to challenge the outcome. Look at when some people gathered themselves in Abuja and said that, oh, Ashwaji didn't score 25%, they should not swear him in. Individuals, so not people who took part in the election. We told them that it was a waste of time Because the law states clearly that only the people who contested the election against Asiwaju can file such an action. But lawyers will still take money from people and go and file frivolous matter just to waste the time of the judges. So this, I believe, just as the CGN said, this matter will be decided by what the law says.
What the law says.
It's not a matter of, I've seen one journalist saying that DSS is intimidating Supreme Court judges and all that. They did something similar by accusing Fashola of writing judgment.
They've not listed the...
So how do you even know which Supreme Court judge is handling the matter? They're very funny people, you know, just to intimidate those judges. And unfortunately, some of these posts on social media is getting to those judges, and they are really worried. Remember when Justice Okoro, when they were hearing that Naira redesign matter, he said they're abusing us on social media. What is the meaning of this?
Just a minute, because let me bring Asuko into this conversation. Just how distracted do you think all of this is for Mr. President? I'm looking at this now. He has 17 lawyers and 10 senior advocates of Nigeria. Is it safe to say that he is insulated against all of the emotional attachment that many have had with this case, and that he's not disturbed or distracted at all from his primary assignment?
From the body language, let me use that body language, you know, of the Mr. President. He doesn't look like somebody who is bothered, because he knows that his lawyers have already done the homework and they've done it very well. From the judgment from the Court of Appeal, it's like the case has already been decided. Because one, if somebody says, like all the issues, the allegations against him, what the court will be looking for will be facts and figures. Did they even bring the figures to corroborate what they were alleging? You said, okay, fine, you won in Lagos, or you won in a particular state, and you can't bring evidence to prove. Because most of what they were doing was they were just trying to, just like they said, is like they were just trying to buy time and dramatize. Let Nigerians know that, oh, they are still existing. You know, like a particular...
The third court case that won on social media.
No, it's not. You know, like a particular, one of the presidential candidates that brought, what is it called? Plastic full of ballot papers, and everybody was saying, that is the end on social media. It's not about that. So if you bring those things, what are they? Another allegation was even about giving FCT special status, for crying out loud. They me.
That you must win FCT.
That if you don't win FCT, then you can't be president.
Yeah.
No, that
means the FCT,
that was clear for everyone who was willing to see at the time.
No, because I'm just
we just like to make a mountain out of it.
That is it. So it means that if you win FCT, then the other votes from other 36 states is useless.
Yes.
And I don't know, and some people
you can
who
win
are pushing
states.
this.
You can actually win 36
states. And then still not be because you didn't win
Yes.
FCT. And those same set of people who are pushing these things are people who went to school. Oh.
No, some senior lawyers, I mean.
That is what I'm telling you. They still went to school.
Because
And they will tell you that it
decides
is in
what
the
they
law.
will do.
Yes.
Where is it in the law of
They are trying to hoodwink us.
And then they were telling you it's because of the Anne that was there. You
There is no country.
we read better grammar now.
Prior to this time, Mr. President had promised a government of national unity. Seeing the numbers, when you consider PDP, Labour Party, and NNPP, you will think that they stand a chance as stakeholders in the previous election if you put all of their figures together. But do you think Mr. President will still be willing to extend such olive branch after this case is done and dusted at the Supreme Court?
Before now, the president said that he's not interested in government of national unity. He said he was
changed the competence
in government of national competence. So to imagine that he will bring in PDP, NNPP, all of that is a long shot. Man is too politically savvy to do that. To come and do what?
But when you consider the figures from the presidential election,
Yes.
they stand a threat to APC if they decide to work together.
And they don't work together. Why couldn't they even PDP bring back all those 5 governors? You think it's easy?
You think it's easy?
People like, they don't even know how politics works. Look at, they are saying, Otom didn't deliver his state.
Yeah, to PDP.
It was a strategy for Tom himself to go to Labour, because PDP has always done well in Benue. They would have won Benue. But Otom went to Labour, making it difficult for PDP to win. And they couldn't resolve their differences. They may not, all of those governors may not have delivered their states, but they weakened the PDP. PDP fought Kwankwaso over a mere ESCO position in their party. They fought Kwankwaso, they let him leave. Kwankwaso left. You saw what happened. It's like PDP does not exist in Kano. Look at the votes. The votes that they scored in Kano is similar to what Jendo scored in Lagos. Yes. No, go and look at those votes. Asiwaju led Atiku in Kano with hundreds of thousands. I think about 400,000 or so.
300,000.
I don't have, it's over 300. It made it difficult for Atiku to catch him, because the gap that he recorded, at the end of the day, when you even tally the Northwest votes, Asiwaju scored more votes than Atiku. Despite the fact that Atiku won 5 states to Asiwaju's. Atiku won, I think, Asiwaju won only 2 states.
He won about 5.
Maybe 4, because NNPP won Kano. So he won 4. So despite the fact he won more states in the Northwest. Northwest, we have 7 states. Despite the fact he won more states than Asiwaju. Asiwaju still scored more votes.
He didn't get higher
Popular vote. Asiwaju trumped him in terms of the popular vote. And of course, the rest is history. This election was an election like no other. Asiwaju dominated the North Central.
The body language of Peter Obi from his last press conference would mean that maybe he's tilting a little to the side of Atiku. When he answered the question of whether or not he was going to respond to his appeal, he said he would be on the side of anything that would better the nation.
That is his boss.
He's his boss now.
That's his boss now. He made him vice presidential candidate. That's still his highest achievement in politics. That's his boss. So it's understandable that he will go with Atiku. He probably would even have stepped down for Atiku, but he knows that
if he does
our brothers in the southeast, they will roast him. If he had his way, he would have stepped down for Atiku. But he knew that my brothers in the southeast, they will have roasted him. So he just decided to,
And he has already gone far in terms of campaigns and all that and popularity. So it would have been dangerous for him, honestly, because
no, they won't.
Tried it.
We must not come back home.
He won't even.
He knew now.
He won't even cross the bridge.
Maybe there's a sense to which all of these press conferences is a plus to the APC, because it's taking attention away from President Tinubu's policy and
no. See, let me the president is concentrating on governance.
The results may not be out now.
Yeah,
they do read what I think the World Bank. They do read what. Those policies are good.
Yes, but it won't happen immediately.
Not immediately. People don't know some of what this man inherited, and because he is a president who came from from APC, the ruling party, there are certain things that you can't say.
That's right.
Okay, let me ask you: were you not, like the rest of us, led to believe that we had 33 billion in our foreign reserves? Until JP Morgan and others came to say, look, so they are even saying now that we don't have more than 3.3 billion. And we are not in position to defend the Naira. Because clearly we've been lied to.
Yeah.
What was discovered, that we were actually owing some of those, what do they call it, JP Morgan and the rest of them. You know, until that audit of the CBN came, we didn't know that we were owing that kind of money. And it was not included in our debt stock. Nobody listed it as part of what Nigeria was owing. What do you collateralize loans with your foreign reserves? Where? It's part of why we are in this mess. But you don't expect us to come out and say, oh, this is it. No. People don't know the extent of what we are in. They don't. And those who think that, oh, let's always look for a quick fix. I just pity them. What is a quick fix will not solve the problem.
Exactly. So we just have to be patient.
But to an extent, too, I think they have to speak up a little because
no, they are.
If Nigerians don't know what they're going through, it will be hard to.
The other day, the Minister of Finance said that there are some backlog
that they are
paid to clear.
Yeah, and which are clear.
That is one reason. He didn't say it directly, but that's one reason they are not even supplying the forex market sufficiently.
Indeed.
Because they need to clear.
Gentlemen.
Maybe once they are through with that, then we will now see greater liquidity in terms of the foreign exchange.
We have to go now. So it's my show at the top of the hour, so I have to wrap up this show early, because I'm the one anchoring it today.
Go on, catch your breath.
Yes.
After a frenetic baptism of
and
fire.
then don't forget your tie.
Oh, no, I'm not wearing tie. I mean,
we don't believe in ties.
It is cool without the tie, so I will carry it over to the next show. BKO Asuko, thank you for joining us on the program. Or maybe you would thank me for joining you on the program, whichever way. That's it on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11. Join us also on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Nifemi Oguntoye. I'm back at the top of the hour with Beyond 100 Days. Stay with us.